Ngando. Let's proceed now to your secondary school life. Transition from primary school to secondary school. May you narrate to us your secondary school life, where it started and where it ended, and some of the things that you undergo that shape your life, some of the persons you modeled in your secondary school, and how did your secondary school help to nurture you to become a barrister you are today?
Well, I started my secondary school in Kumba, and I think when I obtained my ordinary levels in Kumba,
exactly,
my dad as a civil servant was transferred to Muyuka, and I had to follow him, and accordingly got enrolled at Government Bilingual High School, Muyuka, where I obtained my GC advanced level.
Where did you obtain your ordinary level?
Government Bilingual High School, Kumba.
Government Bilingual High School, Kumba. Who were your models in secondary school?
I can't sit here and really say I had...
Who did you admire? What were the subjects that you admire in secondary school?
Well, subjects I love in secondary, I was a pure art student.
Pure art student. What were some of the subjects?
I loved history, I loved literature, I loved geography, I had a passion for religious study, being from a Presbyterian family, and biology.
Yes, barrister. Who were some of the teachers that, when they teach, you like to be like them?
I remember Mr. Mbeng, who taught mathematics. Not really because I love mathematics, but he was very down to earth. He would come as close as to sit beside me to ensure that I pick interest in the subject. And he kept on reminding me, you must score, I think, 10 or 20 for the rest of your papers to be marked at the GCE. I also remember Madam Tang Tang. She was in charge of English language, and I still remember her encouragement and her discipline in that. She would always tell us, you must make good use of your grades at the level of the ordinary level, because it's going to speak for you at the advanced level, at the university, and even the rest of your life. I can't remember the names of every other teacher,
okay, barrister,
but I met them in my daily life.
Okay, barrister, people like Dangote, they failed in life. People like Dampolio, they failed in life. People like Kaji, who are very successful, they failed in life. And they started their businesses from nothing to something. Did you experience any failures in secondary school?
Yes. First, I loved writing, in the sense that I still remember my PTA levy wasn't used for the purpose in which I paid the money, 500 francs, and I wrote a petition to the Delegate of Education.
At what class by then?
That is from 5, and I was dismissed from school 2 weeks before my GCU.
That you were?
Sent packing out of school.
Why? Because you wrote?
Because I wrote that my PTA has not been used, and I feel the principal want to use it.
Who gave you that courage by then, from 5 to write?
Yeah, I was the prefect, and I had to discuss this with my co-prefects.
Wow.
Yes, and I had to write the GC not like a full student. So it was a difficult moment for me.
Wow. Meaning that two weeks to the GCE, yes, you were sent out of the school. You were sanctioned and sent out of the school.
The real word was dismissed.
You were dismissed out of the school.
Yes.
Please, Barrister Mafany Victor Ngando, what were the psychological undertones that made you to overcome the trial moment?
It was a surprise first to my dad.
Yes.
Because he...
As a young boy?
Yes, he was sort of... For me,
yes,
I didn't believe it. I didn't believe I could be sent packing out of school for that.
2 weeks to write your GCE?
2 weeks to write a GCE. I thought maybe I will be called and the money will be used for the purpose, or it should be refunded back to us. Just 500 francs at that time. So it was a surprise first for me. I had to go. I remember my dad would tell me, I sent you to school to study, not to write letters. So if you have written letters and you have been
sent... maybe that's why you're a barrister today, because barrister do write too.
And you have been sent out of school, that's your business. I still remember my mother she had to come right down to see how I can do some extra classes to keep me going.
Okay, how did you psychologically adjust by then?
It breaks me down.
How did you overcome it?
I just had to pass the exams to make first. I always tell myself, I want the administration or the principal to see me like, I didn't write that letter because I'm a rascal. I didn't write that letter because I can't pass these exams. I wrote the letter maybe with some naivety, but my intention was
not
that
naivety, because
the 500 francs should be refunded back to the
being a barrister, you're somebody who look for justice. And I want to say that your early childhood experiences shaped you to become a barrister today.
Yes, and most times, I learned one thing in life. Most times when people fall, they stay on the ground. When people have challenges and failures in businesses, they lack that will to stand up. I think at my very early years in my life, that was one of the first challenges I had to overcome. And I passed the GC ordinary levels.
Wow. How many papers?
5 papers.
That's good.
And it was unbelievable at that time because everybody was like, look at the quiet young man. He's not in school.
Were you traumatized? Were you traumatized?
Of course. There are days I wake up at home in the morning, and when I read, I still wish I should be attending classes like my friends. And I had this feeling that I'm lacking. I had a feeling I'm behind.
Who are those who gave you the support system?
I still remember my good friend Selenu Richard. He's in Hungary. Yoashi Richard. He's in the Middle East. And Adam Tawani Billy. He's in Dubai. And Riza Zita, I think in Finland. I think they were there. They gave me their notes after school, the questions after school. And it was at the end, it was merrymaking when the results came out.
Can we say good companies can lead to success?
That is perfectly true. The manner of people you associate with carve out your future. It helps you in either taking the right or the wrong decisions. So I can say that there's a popular saying that birds of the same feathers flock together. They were very close to me when I was in school. When I left school, they were still close to me and helped me to go through that 2 weeks preparation from home. So I can say good friends have a way of shaping one's life. Man live by man, summarily.
How was the transition from secondary school to high school?
I got so used to living in Fiango, in Kumba, and when I got the news that my dad has been transferred now to Muyuka, the first thing is I'm going to lose my friends, which is normal. And staying in Muyuka, that was for 2 years. It was quite a short time, but I still remember I was received very well by the senior prefect at that time, in which I doubled as I was a sanitation prefect, Pascal Lipimba. He's now in Germany. Ben Paul in Germany. Come Clovis in Turkey. They gave me a good reception. They helped me through my coming in.
Did you continue high school in that same school that you were sanctioned? That you were dismissed?
No. As I've said, my dad was transferred out of Kumba.
Okay.
So I had to follow him to Muyuka.
So what were your new experiences? How did it affect you? Transition from a different school to another school. New friends, peer pressure, adolescent crisis, neighborhood. What were some of the things that affected you psychologically, or issues of psychopathology, the mind?
The first thing was I lost my friends. I had this feeling that those people who stood by me during my turbulent GC period, I should enjoy my high school with them. I still remember I already got my admission in Kaskumba when my dad was transferred. I attended school like 1-2 weeks before making that transition. So it was, I'm going to a new environment.
How did you adapt?
It was difficult, but I had to. It was difficult, I had to. And the names of those I earlier mentioned gave me a good reception. And I had to do well with the people that were available for me at that time to go through the program.
Any neighborhood influence?
Not at all. I'm from a very disciplined family.
So you didn't have, you never had adolescent crisis?
Or inside adolescent crisis?
Because puberty, you know, at your puberty stage in high school, there's some adolescent crisis. Friends did not say, let's go to the nightclub, let's go to play football, let's go to this snack, let's sit down with other companies, have fun. Didn't you have, let's go to the school dance,
yes,
and so on, school parties? Were you not influenced negatively?
Positively first, I think my principal at that time was Mr. Becker Smith. And,
did you not jump over the school fence and so on?
No. As a prefect, I had to lead by example. I was sanitation prefect in the high school.
And that's why you are clean today.
You are looking good myself, doctor.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And I got interested with theater acts. I acted a movie at the high school.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
I Lost for Vanity. I still remember it. And as my adolescenthood, yeah, it was normal to see friends. Let's organize parties. Let's hang out. But I couldn't really enjoy most of these things to the extreme because I had a cane and a time keeping father sitting in front of the house.
So that's what I think that some of the things that your father shaped has helped you because you are time conscious. And I think that those are virtues values that we need in our society. Those are values that Cameroonian needs. Those are values that people have to be punctual because at 7:30 a.m. you're already in your office. And I think that was a good value that your father inculcated in you. So at the high school level in your new neighborhood, you didn't experience any kind of negative influence. But what are some of the positive influence you benefit? Some of the good dynamics that you benefited from it?
Well, negative influence, I won't say none in Moyuka. We were living in a place called Kwekwe. For those who know Moyuka, you might be exposed to attack. You have the normal, natural bad boys groups.
Were they part of your friends?
Not at all.
Did you play with them in the neighborhood?
Hello, hi.
You play with them?
Hello, hi. Greetings. Not my friends, no phone numbers, no acquaintances. Maybe when we meet to buy in the same shop.
How did you gain certain social skills of friendship, of interpersonal relationship, when you're not playing with friends?
Maybe I had to build that up, particularly with my current profession. You must interact with people a lot.
Meaning that at your early childhood, there was no space for you for interaction.
I wasn't so exposed and open.
Let's now transit to your higher educational life. Before transit, let's have a jingle break, Madam the producer.